What would be the advice or the perspective you would give to builders now? This morning, we interviewed this company, awesome founder, Ignis from Ryzen. They're building a stablecoin neobank style app. They're brand new, just came out of stealth today or something, today or yesterday. And we were discussing this like go to market idea of like, how do you, if you're bootstrapping, I think it's him and a couple other folks building this thing from zero, does it make sense to now, given what's available, do what you did, where you go and you actually like, I think, build a lot of this internally in-house versus finding those strategic partners early and working to integrate them and wrap them or stitch them together just to get to market? Like, how do you think about that now as you maybe yourself are working with younger founders who are earlier in the journey?
We had to eat a ton of glass in order to get to this point. And, I would always recommend that people optimize for speed to market and consumer feedback as fast as they can. I think that there are like certain core pieces of infrastructure that you need to have some sort of confidence in, that you need to know, like, what happens if this company goes out of business? What happens if there's a bug? What happens if they lose something or they have a data breach or whatever? And, when you're building in financial services, that stuff really matters. It deeply matters, but I would like partner as much as possible and then like build deeper in the stack as you need to, for sure. We didn't have a choice.
The idea of redundancy, I think that word is often used in the infrastructure layer. The idea of redundancy, you would say, is really important early on.
Redundancy, but also like, for sure, you want to have you want to have redundancy so that like if a partner has an incident, you can keep running. Yeah, you want business continuity, but you also like think about using a third party for key management. Like I think that there are good third parties that can provide high quality key management, but what happens if all of your users have their keys stored with somebody and suddenly they're not available?
Catastrophic.
Money in those wallets. So
yeah.
You just have to like be very thoughtful about all of those kind of things that can happen when you partner with people.
Yeah. Okay. So diving into Sling a little bit still. So the infrastructure, you guys are chewing glass, you're surviving, you're building a great product. You're starting to onboard users. Tell us a little bit about like the last 12, 24 months around specific parts of the world that are using this thing. And what are you learning about these different users? You can't walk across the hall anymore to go talk to them, but like, what are these conversations like? Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could, man. Like when I talk to users all the time, I do a lot of support. And they reach out to users on a regular basis and I'm like, hey, tell me what you're doing and why you're using it and how you're using it and what's working for you and what's not working for you. I think the universal thing is like trust really matters. People need to be able to trust you with their money. Speed really matters. Quality really matters. Those things are unbelievably important. And then if you do well on those things, we have people doing crazy stuff. We have people sending $2 across thousands of miles, behaviors that would never have existed 10 years ago. And then we also have people doing the classic thing of like sending money home at the end of the month. I got paid and, here's, some money to buy food or whatever. And then we have people who are like, splitting brunch bills. We've built kind of like a general purpose product and people use it for general purposes.